texting this woman and looking at her pictures and knowing that that is right up his alley, and no pun intended, and that he was getting ready to try to smash. Okay? Period. And you cooked up a story that it was LSA, and then somehow the neighbor was identified because she said that she was down at the pool with someone who knew her and someone else. Girl, you got a leak in your camp, because when she said she was at the pool with someone who knew you, she didn't know who you were. And then all of a sudden she's finding out that you have her in a story. Someone tipped her off, and someone tipped off LSA that she was like, someone in your building sees you and is watching you and is running your business down, period. Because that's another aspect to, like, how did this all come together? How did, like, the two ends meet? Hey, Dr. Amira, good morning.
Hey, darling.
Hey, how are you? What do you think about this? I feel like, are you following this story?
No, but I am since you start talking about it.
It just seems like when Keesha, somehow this girl, however she found out who this girl was, and Jeremy is texting her, and they're they're friendly chatting, right? Because nothing was really out of the way. Doesn't mean that something wasn't going to get started, especially when you got a whole man who's got a wandering eye. Confirmed. Aren't you and Boo cute? Is that your husband?
That is my husband.
Yes, Boo is nice looking guy.
Thank you.
He looks very stylish. He's looking.
So
you guys are giving me
so sweet.
cute, very cute couple there, and I like the hat. Yes, my husband is a hat wearer as well.
Yeah, he loves hats.
Yes. It's interesting. So have you followed Keesha at all? Keesha Anderson?
I looked at her a couple of times when she wrote that book. Wasn't that the one that wrote the book about how she stayed with a man who had a baby on her?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's not her husband. He hasn't even wifed her up yet.
Exactly. Which is crazy. My thing is this: he's messy as hell. He don't respect her. I gotta tell you, he don't respect her. He's messy as hell, because anybody. Why would you talk to? Why would you even give an iota of a type of a conversation with a chick in the building as you? That is messy as hell. You ain't got no business doing that. How old is this guy? Is he young? Is he in his 20s?
They're still in their 20s, but they're close to 30.
They need to grow up. Like, he needs to
and he's a college graduate. He played basketball on college level, and and was good. I think he got hurt, I think is what happened. So maybe he was playing overseas or going to play overseas. He was a good basketball player. He got his degree. Keesha picked him up at a bus stop.
To me, it sounds like she's with him for the potential, for the imagery. It doesn't really seem like she's in love with him as well because of the stuff she's doing. It's like the image of it. She's trying to keep up this image, and she don't want nobody else to have them. That's what it seemed like to me.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, but
I agree. Not even just, she may be in love with him, because some women who don't really know what real, I don't want to say what real love, she's experiencing a form of love that is not healthy, right?
Very very disgusting. Very she's her point where she has to uplift, she has to lie, because she know he ain't no good.
She knows that there's, and even if he's not no good, there's better out there for her.
Exactly. But she don't have the sense enough to go, I could do better.
Go get it. A Spelman graduate. Okay. And not even just because she's a Spelman graduate, guys, but you have to understand the history, the culture of Atlanta. She's a jewel out here in Atlanta. You are an educated Black woman that has gone to one of the best Black HBCUs, all female universities in the country. And like Keesha, yes, is Keesha's grammar problematic? Of course. Is Keesha, look, at the end of the day, Keesha has potential, and she could be with a man who is doing more, better, richer. She could be home not working. She could be doing a lot of different things, but she's choosing to be working to the bone for a
Oh,
man who is not working to the bone for her.
oh, hell no. He out of there. My vagina will be dry. My yummy will be dry. You ain't got no money.
Right.
You ain't bringing no money in. It's dry. I can't do it. I can't put no parts of my body on you, and you're not bringing no income. Are you crazy? No, and she's a pretty girl. She's a really
She's
pretty girl.
pretty. Yeah, she definitely, she's cute. I think she's very cute.
Mm-hmm.
When she fixes up, she's very
Mm-hmm.
cute, and she's worked on herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's very aware of her flaws, you know, whether she was or wasn't. Social media will make you aware of your flaws. And she is very proactive about keeping her body tight. She works
Mm-hmm.
out, she eats healthy for the most part, but she's just blessed, skinny girl. But she's got her little curves now. She's had 3 babies. Um, but she's selling herself short.
Totally.
Jeremy is a
A
nice
million.
guy, and
I'm sorry, what
Jeremy,
are people short? Mm-hmm.
if she would have let Jeremy go on to his interview and he would have landed a job downtown somewhere, and he was into his 3rd or 4th, 5th year right now working at whatever he's got his degree in, it's possible he could be making his own 6-figure salary. And I don't know what he's making, I really don't, but she could possibly be the one who's not working.
Exactly. I'm just saying, I think she's trying to chase him, and it's exhausting. I think she's trying to be something that she just can't be for him. You know what I mean? She's trying to live up to an image. The whole Spellman thing. So she got, and then he's not even married her. Oh my God, he's not even wiped her up, and he's not even planning on it. And the only way he would do that is just to keep that money flowing. That's my opinion. And I think at one point in time, he probably did want to go and get a job, but because she want to run behind him so hard to make sure he ain't cheating and make sure he ain't talking to this person, that person, she driving herself crazy. She gonna drive herself crazy. She gonna grade before time. She gonna be grade before she hit 40. She gonna be her whole head gonna be grade her. Right, watch. Cause she
Uh,
gonna be so stressed out.
Look, we see it on the YouTube streets every day. These women, you got to go run behind your man. You
Mm-hmm.
got to forget about just the grays. That face is
Right.
gonna look like a damn
Mm-hmm.
8-lane highway. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna, not only is it gonna look like you got hit in the face by a tractor trailer, but you're gonna have lines looking like you are a superhighway. Okay, because Dr. Amira, it's a blessing to be in your 40s and almost 50 and in your 50s, and you look 10, 15, 20 years younger. I mean, look at, you've got grown child. Are you over 40 yet? Or are you at
I'm on
40?
48. Let me tell y'all something. I'm
48. And
48
look
years
at
old.
Dr. Amira's cheekbones. Look at that melanin. Look at her and Boo Thing. Do you see what love will do? Okay, you see, when you have a man in your life who uplifts you and who adds and does not subtract, that also helps you amplify your beauty, because when you are happy, it comes from the inside and it exudes outside, and those cheekbones get a little higher and that natural highlight comes out, and you guys look happy and relaxed. In this picture right here, you guys don't look stressed at all.
I ain't gonna be in no relationship where I'm getting ready to be stressed out.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
that's
something. We just got a 5-year-old. We're in the process of adopting him. And I tell you what, and I do have grown children. I have 5 grandchildren. I tell y'all what, I'm not ready to be stressed out.
mm-mm.
No, no. I'm not even gonna even let my children stress me out. You hear me?
Mm-mm.
Let
Well, and
alone.
also when they see you being cool, when they see
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, that teaches them to, you're passing on, even if they go freak out somewhere else, they already know that like you got it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a big difference, you know. Um, Sometimes I do need to check myself too, because I'm just going to be honest. You know, sometimes we do lose our cool, but we can't lose your cool all the time to where people just know that you are out of control. Dr. Amir, hang on for a second. Don't hang up. Elizabeth wants to come through and
I'm muting up.
come up on this panel. Unless you got to go, it's up to you. But I got you on here. Elizabeth, what do you got to say, hon? Good morning.
Hey, hon. I just want to do a quick, just a chime in what she said. Keesha does have low self-esteem, and I'm personally thinking that Keesha is fighting her personal alternative lifestyle, if that makes sense to anybody out there. You know, she talks about how she used to be a lesbian, and I'm assuming that her image, YouTube can really mess up people's mind. We can see some of these ladies, let's have a man in the atmosphere. No matter what this man does to us in the long term, I still got a man. You get what I'm saying? But the worst thing about it is she has 3 children, and they're 3 girls. They have to follow behind their mother. You know, that is like, they don't see strength. Like, I don't care what anybody say. You can be balling all day long, but if you still have baggage, you don't have strength in my eyes, because you can't just let it go. You can't, you know, for example, she always say we're family. No, if a man will intentionally destroy you, he don't care about you. But I feel like, you know, when she stopped him from a job, she destroyed him. When she paid for stuff, she destroyed him.
You got to let a man be a man. You have to, even if you can do it, because the phrase is let a man be a man. How can you let someone? Well, when you take a step, and it's not even so much taking a step back, call it a step aside, take it a step. I don't care how you want to look at letting someone, but when you consciously take yourself out of the equation and let someone else, allow someone else to make a choice, rather than you feeling like you got to cap and be ahead and handle stuff because you don't know what they're going to do. That's not allowing someone to step into the fullness of what they are able to do. You are not allowing potential to be actualized because you are afraid. You are really fucking with the potential, and you might actually, you know, impede potential, because the potential never gets a chance to be realized because you're always stepping ahead because you want to make sure that things still look good. What do you guys think about that?
Exactly. Yeah. He can't even be my God, he can't even let us NUTS hang. You know what I mean? He can't even let him hang because she trying to hold her ovaries, his NUTS. Also, she trying to hold it all. And look, you gotta, you know, you can be a strong woman but still be feminine, meaning like let him open your doors, let him pay a bill, let him pay some bills, let you kind of relax and chill and see what he gonna do, because he's not going to really, you taking his manhood. Basically, that's what she's doing. She
right.
For a strap and hit it from, you know what I mean? Because she's taking his manhood. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say this. If the phone bill needs to, if he's supposed to take care of a couple of bills, let the late notice come and give it to him. Don't just pay it because you're like, I don't want my bills to be late. Let him pay it, or make sure.
Well, my thing is this: that she should never had, personally, she knew that girl was pregnant from the get-go. She got pregnant, and then this is my intention. She didn't get pregnant because they just had a one, you know, a oopsie daisy night. No, she really got pregnant intentionally because she needed to have she needed to have a boy with him. She was so disappointed when she had a girl. If y'all can go back and when they had that dinner and they revealed the baby, she was upset because she knew that that other girl had a boy, and she really needed to make that mentally in their mind. Keesha is like a fairy tale that is never a fairy tale. In her mind, everything's a fairy tale down to her kids. Her kids are not children. When I look at her children, it's like they're not children. They want to be children, but they're not children. They're Keisha's fairy tale. And that's what YouTube have done to some of these people. They look at certain things and say, I want this, but it's not like that. It's
So what you're
not like
saying,
that in
not
the
that they're
real
not
world.
children, but what you're saying is they're coworkers.
They're props.
They're
No,
props.
They're,
I'm about to say
well,
that, girl.
they're not props. They're co-stars. She's
no,
the
like if Keisha could turn her kids off, Keisha would turn her kids off. They're props. And only reason why I said that is because it takes people to say to Keisha, do your daughter's hair. Oh, I gotta do my daughter's hair. You know, it's not typically like I used to watch Keisha, and I stopped watching her after this baby mama drama. When they wrote that book, I was like, they're just doing this for clout. This is not real. Real people, if this is a real relationship, I'm going to handle it privately, and that's it. When I'm ready to discuss it, she was not ready to discuss it, but it came with a dollar sign. That's the reason why I said her children, she could turn her children off, they'll be turned off. And I'm sorry, I know we're talking about Keisha, but that is all these mommies. That is strong mommy Christy. That is Jasmine. If they could turn their children off, like, okay, an hour's up, those kids will be an idle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain point that you have to just decide, you know what I mean? Like, me personally, as a mom who vlogs and as a mom who does commentary, at a certain point in my day, you guys don't see me anymore out here on YouTube. Sometimes I might drop a video, but at a certain point on the weekend, it's family. At a certain point, I do this in the morning. People are sleeping, or at a certain, you know what I'm saying? I have to give my full attention to my family because they will not take anything less. You think I'm bougie? You think I got high standards? So does my family. They want me. They don't want me with the camera in my face. They don't want me at the computer all day. I get my time. And sometimes I get a little extra. Like sometimes I can sneak in a live once a week at night or something like that. But for the most part, I got to be present up in here. And these women who are running around, who are not present in their households, it's mystifying to me, but it's also not, because it lets me know this is the reason why your shit is fucked up. Now, Keisha, she seems to not necessarily be vlogging as much. And that's a good thing because she's focusing on her family and she's focusing on her household. But sometimes also, don't give your man, I don't want to say don't give him so much attention, but you are giving him wife benefits. What are you going to give him when he actually wifes you up? You have given him everything. You've given him twins. You've given him daughters. You've given him leeway. No pun intended. You've given him a lot of everything. You have given him access to your resources. You've gone into business with him. You have given him everything. And this man cannot even be decent enough to give you his complete mind because his mind is elsewhere texting other women. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you don't have his heart. Maybe you have some of his heart because if he's coming home every night, but you don't have his mind. It's mind, body, and soul. If you don't occupy a man's mind, you can be in his heart, but he's going to give that sausage to someone else. Trust me. Okay. You got to have it all. If you got their mind and their heart, they're not going anywhere. But if you've only got their mind, you don't have their heart, or you only have their heart and you don't have their mind, it's going to be a miss every time.
And now I think about it, I thought she was a Looney Tune, Jeremy's sister. I think she knew what she was talking about with Keisha and Jeremy. She knew what she was talking about.
What did she say?
Shanita is very wise. Number one, Shanita is a Virgo gang. She's very wise. Shanita is eccentric. She's got her own style and she's got her own way. So that kind of clouds the actual
image,
knowledge and wisdom. Exactly, Dr. Amir. Her knowledge and wisdom gets clouded because some people see the outside and think that, and the tarot cards and this and that. So that's a distraction. But again, Keisha used the convenient bad guy, the jealous, or the meddling sister, like Olivia uses Niecy. There's guys, I'm telling you, this convenient bad guy is a theory that It's just it just is, because oftentimes we do our shit and we blame it on someone else, but it's all us. It's all us.
Scapegoating. They scapegoating like a mug, you know?
Yeah.
It gets old though. It gets old, you know. And the thing is, let me tell you something. I do tarot readings and all that good stuff too. But let me tell you something. What's gonna end up happening? I can already tell you, and you don't have to be a psychic like myself to know, because we all know in this room, because we all bougie gang, right?
Yes.
What I will say is that what's gonna happen is he is going to have another baby on her. Watch.
Because men have to test their manhood somewhere, and it might end up being an oops, but the oops should be he was out here. That's the oops, right? The oops isn't the product of the baby, of the sperm doing what the sperm is going to do. At the end of the day, the oops is, somebody is not in control of themselves.
Well, I would say this: it's no oops with Jeremy. It's just like it is what it is.
He don't give a damn
because he don't care. Keesha is at the mindset that she don't care long as she has her children's father in the house. She don't care. Just like Jazzy, she don't care if Philip was doing what he was doing. Long as he was in the house. And I got a man. And I can tell people I got a man. She don't have a man that stays in our house. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is they got children that is females that's watching it. And that can't even be as sickening as, you know, YouTube was so harsh on the Marshalls.
You don't think Aiden is seeing his mom run circles to pay bills and manage a household, and Chris is sitting playing Xbox or PlayStation? So it's going to stand to reason, unless Aiden is a go-getter like his mother, which, not saying that boys can't be like a mother, but if you've got a father figure in the house, that's usually where their eyes are going in terms of modeling. And if Chris is out here doing nothing, okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be nice because I'm not gonna talk about nobody's children, but I'm gonna say this. Aiden is going to most likely be one of those whining ass men. Okay,
no,
he will. He's gonna be a whining ass man because he sees his mom whining and complaining, and he does that. He whines. Like, I can see, like, he can learn how to play by himself, or he don't fight with his sisters, or, you know what I'm saying, or fight for food. But he's going to be one of those whining kids that grow up to be a whining man,
and
or a complaining man.
Let's keep it. So I hear what you're saying, and you're right. Let's keep it focused on the adults. This is the deal, though. I think we're all speaking figuratively. I can't see into the future. I don't know what's going to happen with anybody's kids. I just know this. I know sociology, and what I know is this: we children watch their parents, and they see their ways, and they pick up on part of those ways, and those ways help them develop their personality. And if you have a man in the house who does nothing, you're going to have someone in the house who grows up to do nothing. If you have a woman in the house who is capping, who is running circles, who is making things convenient, who is making things too easy, who is more of an alpha female, and you've got a beta male, understand you are going to raise other alpha females, and you are going to raise other beta males, or you're going to raise beta females. I don't know that you can produce an alpha. If you don't have an alpha male in the house, I don't see where the alpha male comes from, unless the alpha male has some alpha male exposure. Just because you're an alpha female does not mean that you're going to have an alpha male. You could end up with a total beta male, you know? So that's just my theory, and mixed with a little bit of what I've learned and what I've seen. I just don't, Keesha, yes, she has daughters. What is she teaching her daughters? She's teaching her daughters to be strong. She's teaching her daughters to earn. She's teaching her daughters to work. but she's not showing her daughters the value of marriage. She's not showing the values of being a boss, because at the end of the day, to me, if you are a boss and you have a relationship that really is in some sort of degree of control, and not that she has to be in control or he has to, but there's some mutual respect. Yeah, you don't have to send blind emails. You don't have to talk to somebody more than once about, I don't feel comfortable with that. The texting about pizza and the texting, that I don't feel comfortable with that. Even if someone's stupid for a minute, and I don't mean stupid like they're almost going to cheat, but just like, oh, okay, yeah, that is kind of weird.
Not aware.
Yeah. Being inconsiderate. If someone's even just being inconsiderate, I don't feel comfortable with that, and it stops. Don't make me feel uncomfortable in my home. That's a no-go.
That's a get the hell out now. You ain't gonna be making me feel uncomfortable, and I gotta be running behind you checking text messages. I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, that's too much energy.
Well, I think that's when you have to grow up. I mean, I have plenty of times when I went through somebody's phone and MySpace, and I was like, hold up, why is she on your MySpace page? That's how old I am.
Well, but forget about why is she on your MySpace page? Why have you not taken her off? Or something like that.
Or, it was just
what other
crazy.
people do. We can only control us.
And it's just like, you have to grow up. I'm not chasing after this man, and I'm definitely not going to chase after this woman. She wants them, she can have them. But it's just like, they haven't grown up. She haven't grown up, because if I'm making 40K on YouTube,
good Lord,
I'm not,
just a wrap.
I'm not going to chase after a female for a man. I'm going to try to at least get some more money, If I have 100K subscribers, why am I talking about this? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, why is she even talking about this? She has 500K subscribers.
It's content. It's controversy. We are talking about it early in the morning.
Right.
Her name is being fed into the algorithm. It's momentum. I can look at this live. We'll look at this on Monday. You guys remind me. I'll pull up the analytics for this video. We'll see where people came. We'll see where people went. We'll see where people who were watching this video after it's had a chance to really kind of do its thing for 5 days, see where people came from, see where they went. You can see all of that in your analytics. You can see your traffic report. You can see who came to your channel, where they came from, what they watch. It doesn't break it down by person, but it gives you the statistics of some of the habits of your watchers, whether people are subscribed, unsubscribed. Did they subscribe on this video? Did they subscribe on that video? We'll do a little analytical breakdown and see what happened, because right now I can tell you what my trends are on my channel. My channel people come from they come from some other reactors. That is true, because a lot of you guys float between reactor channels, and then of course they come from the mommies. They come from Keesha's channel. They come from a couple of others. But I'll share some of that information on Monday. I think that would be a great talk, because I know a lot of you are very curious about the workings of behind the scenes on YouTube. And I'll share some of that. I don't mind sharing some of that information. Because I find analytics very interesting, because the numbers don't lie. The computers don't lie. They're programmed, and they're just giving me what my understanding is on the information that I get. Dr. Amira or you, Elizabeth, might look at it and it tells you a completely different story. To me, when I look at numbers, I'm like, oh, okay, well, so-and-so came after they watched this video, they went there, or they came from Sofa Time's channel. They came from Ty Cherie's channel, or they went from here and went there. There's a lot of really good information in there, but what I see when I look at analytics might not be the same thing that Ty Cherie might see, because what she in her mind needs the information for to grow her channel may be completely different. There's other visuals that people look at. So, it's to me, it's interesting. It's very interesting, because those reports don't lie. And Keesha gets
Well,
all of that information. And I'm sure that Keesha looks at some of that. Keesha is dangerous smart. She's not stupid. She might be a little silly. She might be a little she's I don't even say it's that she's young. This is a woman who's got 3 kids and lives with a whole man. I'm not calling her young, period. She's living a 40-year-old woman's lifestyle. You're living in a nice high-rise building. You make money. You buy designer clothes. You got a whole man laying in the bed with you every night. You got damn twins, and you got 3 kids to take care of. You got a mommy over there helping you handle your children. You live in the life of a woman 10 and 15 years older than you. Okay. So she's grown, and she ought to know what she's doing. You got a whole friend, D, who's about 40 almost. She's a grown woman as well. So she's not naive. She might be a little naive, but she's certainly not stupid. She might make stupid decisions in some of our eyes because she's not really going full scope. And I think one of you said she's seeing the potential, but potential has to have action with it. You can have, like they say with the Bible, faith. So faith without works is dead. Okay. Yeah. And you can have a little faith. You can have faith the size of a mustard seed and it can carry you very far. But if you are not willing to put the work in, it's never realized. So Jeremy, I'm sure, has a lot of potential. Look, he's graduated. He's had talent for basketball. He's got talent for music. I'm sure he's got his talents. They lie somewhere. He is a contributor to this world. But at the end of the day, if she's constantly capping for him, you are stifling. One last thing before you guys, I'd love to hear what your remarks are on that. I have a friend. She said her husband didn't walk until he was like almost 1.5 years old. And when the parents took him to the doctor, you know what they told the parents?
What?
Stop holding him so much.
Right. Stop holding him so much. And he was walking 2-3 days later. He wasn't walking. They thought something was wrong, but they constantly have him in their hands. And he was the baby of like 7 kids. So someone's always holding him. Someone's always putting him down. Someone's always laying him down. He wouldn't walk. Put him down. And he started walking. All right. So what do you guys have to say to that?
That's like tough love. That's tough love. And at the end of the day, if she wants it to work, she'll need to have tough love with Jeremy. And she's going to have to trust him when he wants to do something. She can't always hold his hand. And I think that's what most women, they get this thing mixed up with holding my man down by doing it for their man. You can't do that. You got to let him do it. Like, if your man wants better, he's going to do better. You know what I'm saying? You can't file his application for him. You can't go to his interview for him. You can't do his work for him. You got to let him do his work. And if he's eating crab legs whenever you want some, or he's eating good because you want to eat good, you're not helping him. You get the house of your dreams, not the house that he desired. You know, it's always my forever home, not our forever home. You know,
but you know what? As a single woman, as a woman who doesn't have a marriage license, honestly, she's saying the right thing. She's saying the right thing. So maybe her words are betraying her, because at the end of the day, you don't need to, as a single woman and a man who is not necessarily 100% contributing, be buying this dude a fucking house. That's ridiculous.
I'm not buying it.
Because if he decides to take off on you, guess what you got in the front yard? A for sale sign, or you're going to the bank to get some money to buy him out, because he can sue you for half the home. So hopefully Keesha knows that. You buy a house with this guy and he's not your husband and he's not really banking on a future with you. You just bought a man who's not your husband, who's giving you 3 kids and a son to someone else. You're buying him half of your forever home. That would be dumb.
Well, friend, I want to ask you a question, and I'm gonna get off because I gotta go catch my ice. But what was that breakup around Christmas time? Okay, so y'all remember last year she did that Vlogmas, and she did it without Jeremy. Okay. When I seen it, I was like, is she trying to make it seem like she's a single mom? Then she went off and said they was on a break. I didn't hear nothing else about the break because I kind of stopped watching it because she was all over the place at this time. So I'm like, now I'm seeing them back together. Are they back together? Are they still on a break? Are he's back at home only for the kids? Because when I was listening to it this morning, I was like, hold up, I thought it was on a break. I didn't know they went back together.
They are not on a break, seems to me. I mean, he lives there with her. They are together. I think she has made a conscious decision that so she's a woman who has a man at home, right? But that's not part of her storyline. You know, there's plenty of channels out here where you watch, but Keesha Kaylee, that's the focal point. In some ways, Jeremy is kind of the star of the Keesha Kaylee show. You know how it's like the Cosby Show, but you know, for instance, at a certain point, you may have someone who just breaks out. You know, you've got gosh, what was the okay, perfect example. We talked about this earlier this week. So 227. So
Sandra.
So but what was the
Mary.
what was Jackie Harry's name? Okay, Mary. Sandra. So Mary was the star of the show, Florence from the Jeffersons, right? So Mary was the star of the show, right? Her husband, and her daughter. But Jackie Harry came out, girl. You couldn't say that she wasn't the one that everyone's clapping in the audience. They love the one-liners. There is a history of that show. I think those two fell apart as friends because there was a little bit of jealousy or anger there because this was her chance to be the star of the show. And because the trip to, what is her name? The actress that played Mary.
Marla Gibbs.
Marla Gibbs.
Yeah.
To the tribute of Marla Gibbs is such an amazing actress. People really believed her as Florence on the Jeffersons, like to the point where they're calling her Florence, right? She was such a great supporting actress, such a awesome silent contributor with her the faces she'd make, her attitude. She said that when she started on the Jeffersons, I mean, she just knew that she needed to be extra. She was trying to be like the maid, but the anti-maid, like basically one of the family, who was nosy. That was part of her when Louise and George would be talking and they would look over and she's over there in the window of the kitchen. Instead of minding her business, cooking something, she'd be like,
That's right.
She did that. She made her presence known, and the reward was that they gave her her own show and tried to create a new character. But what happened again? Someone else came out as her. So she got to kind of experience what she did. Not that she did anything wrong. She was doing her job. But that's what made 227 so great, because people loved that relationship and they loved kind of like the annoyance of Sandra. And they loved kind of the quiet cool of Mary. And I just see that Keesha, people love Jeremy because he's a little kooky, he's a little eccentric, okay? But she has made him the star of her show. Keesha should be the one that everyone's like, yay! But what happens when you tune into Keesha? You're looking for the kids. You're looking for this one. Is she out with that one? Where's Jeremy? No one's checking for her. She has made other people. Do you get what I'm saying? You come on here to Love Lies and Lace Fronts. It's not Mr. LX3 signing on. It's me. You come to Francoise Vlogs. Who's the first person you see? You see me. You see my family. I'm the star of. If it's the Francoise and family, then maybe you're gonna see Farrah at the beginning. Maybe you're gonna see my husband at the beginning. Maybe you see the dogs. You see me because it's Francoise Vlogs. Okay, it's Love Lies and Lace Fronts with me. I'm the star of my channels. Keesha has made other people the star of her channel. You guys follow me?
Yeah, but
And it's kind of funny how you using actresses, because that's what Keesha really wants to do. And Keesha, I don't know if you listening on the bushes, but you need to go after your dream. The YouTube is not your dream. You might want it to be your dream, but that is not your dream. And I remember how she said that she wanted to be an actress. And if
That's what she
you're
got her
playing
degree
out,
in.
and if you're playing YouTube as your acting life, that's not doing it. That's the reason why you're probably unhappy. And I feel like sometimes she seems so unhappy.
She is unhappy. She look unhappy.
So I'm like, go after your dream, and it's okay. It's okay when you get a couple of no's, but you're gonna definitely get some no's when YouTube stops rolling those checks. And what are you going to do? You're gonna still be selling hair, or you're gonna have
hair
to find
companies are profitable businesses. So maybe she will still be selling hair. I don't know. Maybe she'll make hair. If you're an entrepreneur and you've got 5-6 different streams of income, hair can certainly be one of them. If that bubbles up to be the main source, then it just does. But it's one of her streams of income. But at the end of the day, Keesha can't stop what she's doing. Keesha has 3 children and she is the primary parent. Jeremy is not. Not to say that he's not going to take care of his kids if she all of a sudden became famous, but where does she have time to take off from her family that's why she's pushing the kids do we not see Tina Knowles wanted to be an actress, but what did Tina Knowles do? She got married to a guy who worked for IBM, and then they had children that demonstrated more talent and actualized. So Destiny's Child, okay? Her Destiny, the Destiny's Child. So her daughters had the life that Tina Knowles, the beautiful, talented Tina Knowles, wanted for herself. She has in her daughters. Okay.
And what was your question though? Go back to the question.
Just your thoughts about. So it's the Keesha Kaylee, but she's made Jeremy the star of her show, which all attributes to the capping that she does. She runs out ahead of Jeremy and everything else. She's constantly working very hard to make herself a co-star. Rather than making herself the star, to your point, Elizabeth, she's not going to go after an acting career because she's too busy taking care of everything else and not herself. But she's also painted herself into a corner because as a mother, what mother with good conscience can leave her kids to pursue a career at almost 30 years old? So you see Tabitha Brown, she had the buy-in of her husband who said, you know what, I'm going to work this LAPD job and I want you to go after your dream. Mm-hmm. Is Jeremy going to work at Atlanta PD? Is he going to go work at Credit Suisse? I don't know what his degree is in. Is he going to go work at Verizon? Is he going to go work somewhere and say, I got you. No. I'm going to hold you down. I got these bills. You handle your business. Go find Tyler Perry. Go find Ava DuVernay. Go find go. I want you to bring me back an Emmy. I want you to bring me back a Academy Award. I want you to bring me back, whatever.
Well, I will say this: if they struggle together, I don't mean Taco Bell. They really struggle together. It might be he might do it. But if they never struggled and they just had it always like that, or they made it happen, or they faked it until they make it, he's not going to appreciate that. You get what I'm saying?
She came in and she was making a 5-figure check already from YouTube every month.
So
there's no making money.
There's no YouTube. That's not like a struggle. He's gonna always constantly.
She struggled. He did not. She worked for this. He did not.
She's an enabler. The bottom line. I mean, that's ain't no way around it. And the bottom line is that he does not respect her. He don't really care about hurting her feelings, obviously, because he keeps doing it over and over and over again. Okay, she has low self-esteem, bottom line. She does not know her worth, okay? And those children, she seems like she loves her children, but at the same time, just like like we all have said, just like the rest of those mommies, it's just sometimes a fine line of what we should, tell on social media. It's the bottom line. And some things just should be between you all of your life don't need to be on social media, because you're going to bring in judgments and then get angry and upset because you're being judged, but you put everything out there to be judged. Hello. So what else can you do from there? Only thing she can do at this point is get herself up, get her self-esteem up, get real counseling, not the fake counseling she says she's getting real counseling, going to someone and trying to find your worth. Get your voice, because we don't hear your voice. Your voice is drowned out by everybody else's wants and needs. Okay.
Okay. Because she went into mommy mode. Yeah. Yeah. Mommy mode
Fran,
yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I have to go. I'm still listening, y'all. I'm still listening, but I have to go. But I enjoyed y'all this morning, and y'all have a wonderful day.
You too,
and Fran, I hope you come back.
Yes, Elizabeth, it is always a pleasure. Have an awesome weekend, hun.
You too.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, babe. Welcome to everyone coming in, guys. We are in the second hour, and we're going to be dropping off in just a second, but I want to thank everyone for coming in. Olivia Pope, C File Wood, Tia 615, Anna's Antics, Miss Alexis, everybody who I did not say hello to, Olivia Pope, Love Noel, good morning, Verena, I think I said hello, but if I did not, Double NC Peters, me and 4, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone who has joined since we kind of got things rolling. Sunshine, we're having a great conversation. Yes, Keesha is the topic, but understand this can be anybody. So Keesha, don't feel picked on. D, we're not picking on her. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The video is out here for us to watch, and we are talking about it. We are empowering women to hear this content and to have some thoughts behind it, not just soak it in like a sponge and let that water start stanking, because you know what happens when you let water sit and get stale. It turns into like nasty smelling pond water, right, Dr. Amira?
Sure.
It is good for us to be able to consume information and for us to talk about it as a female community. It's not to bash one person over another. It's to talk about what's actually going on. And, Keisha's going to make her decisions and do what she wants to do. And by all means, girl, do your thing if that's what makes you happy. But if one day you look up and find that you're not happy, while you're putting everyone else first, and that's what we do as moms and wives, we do that. But you also have to have an environment that's fostered where they put you first. You put them first, they put you first. That's how it works. So everybody is getting a chance at actualizing their potential. If you're the one who's just running circles, yeah, you're just exhausting yourself. That's why women start looking tired. And we've got these mommies out here looking 40 instead of 30. What do you got to say to that, Dr. Amira? Am I speaking some truth out here?
You are speaking real, because, she going to look up. She going to be my age, trying to figure out, like, dang, I don't have no boys. Children going to be out of school. They're going to be going off to college. And she's still going to be trying to run behind this man trying to get married. And he probably didn't have more children, and now she got stepchildren, way more. And her life can pass her by. Okay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to let your life pass you by, because life. You're not a cat. You don't have 9 lives. Okay, so you want to kind of get out there and try to live your life to the fullest and be happy and not walk around. Because I can see the pain in her face. I can see the anger. I can see the exhaustion. I can see she can't fake it till you make it with me. I read right through her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obvious.
And he's not happy.
I mean,
he's not happy. Let's be clear about that. He's not even happy.
If a man is happy with you, the last thing, it's not even just on appearance's sake. If you did text him for something, or he texted you like, oh, you asked about this, this, and this, go talk to Jennifer down in the office. That would have been it.
Or go
You know
talk
what
to
I'm
my
saying? Like,
wife.
it would have been it.
Or talk to my wife. Excuse me, you can get my wife's number. Here, this is my wife's number. Text her and tell her what it is, blah, blase, blase. Men, real men do that.
Hey,
Men don't be like, let me have a side.
I looped in Keesha. Here, she's Keesha, can you get back with so and so on such and such?
Right.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
there is, neighbors can talk. Neighbors can come by and help you move something. There's nothing wrong with that, women, ladies out here. There's nothing wrong with that. But going above and beyond, like we know each other from high school with a stranger, no, that's not appropriate. And for her to think that it is okay for that, keep having ambiguity in your relationship, and you are going to see yourself looking around and trying to figure out why homie packed up and left, because he's just waiting for something better than you to show up. And when that happens, even though he loves those babies, he knows the type of woman you are. You're not going to stop him from seeing the babies because family is so important to you. But if he thought you were important to him, he would not put you in a position again to be looking fugazi on your channel. Okay. A man who makes you out here looking fugazi, he don't love you like that. He might love you, but he's not upholding you as you are upholding him.
He love you with conditions. As long as you can do this, it's not unconditional. As long as you can do this for me, I love you. As long as you can do that for me, I love you. But the moment that you can't, the moment you even don't think about getting this for me, I'm out. I'm up. That's not love.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you've heard the politicians, and we're going to close on this. Dr. Amir, I know you've heard this before. Politicians say this all the time. We got to capture their hearts and their minds. Hearts and minds. It's a powerful thing, y'all. If you don't have his heart and you don't have his mind, girl, you done.
It's a wrap.
You're done. If you don't have him in your heart and in your mind, you're not in a relationship. You're in a situationship.
Right. And you're in a relationship by yourself.
If and it's not to say you're single focused, but I can't even explain it to you if you don't know what it is. If you're like, I don't know what love is, or I don't know what when it smacks you in the face, you're gonna know. But when you know that if you're not sure about anything, what you're thinking is not okay. If you don't know that you know, it's not okay. Trust that. Sometimes people say to me, don't trust this person. And okay, why would you have someone around you don't trust? Because I trust that I don't trust. Okay. If I already know that you're fugazi, I may not treat you like you're fugazi because I'm smarter than fugazi, but I got my eye on you because I know that you fugazi. I don't have to cut you off. You're going to cut yourself off, or you're going to show yourself. I don't have to play all of my cards. You understand what I'm saying? When you trust doesn't always mean that you're skipping tra-la-la-la down the street. Sometimes you trust that that you know what the fuck is really going on, but you're gonna let people play their position. And if you want to play the position as fugazi, we gonna let you play it fugazi. We gonna let you do what you do. Okay, understand. Some people, when you think you're the smartest in the room, you've just already made the biggest mistake, because you're not. There's always someone smarter. There's always someone smarter, period.
Or how about if they finally do get married, which I think eventually he will marry her, she gonna end up having to pay him alimony. Watch.
I mean, look at Mary J. Blige and her man. Look at a lot of these women who have money, who end up having to split their money to handle a problem. Look at Halle Berry, time and time and time again. You know how many payouts she's done?
Exactly. Way too much.
Look at I always talk about J-Lo, but look at a woman. Honestly, I really think it's her and Diddy. But let's go to Ben. She's back with Ben. Ben and her and Jennifer were together 20 years ago. They let people, racism really, because people didn't want this white boy who was very popular at the time um, to be with a Puerto Rican, a New Yorican. Okay. She's from New York. She's Puerto Rican descent, but she's on the rise, beautiful woman. Because of racism, they really didn't want her. They didn't want her with Diddy because she was too light-skinned. She was too she was going to be the next Hollywood it girl. And they were marketing her, Hispanic-ish, but kind of, beautiful, J-Lo with the big butt. They accentuated her sexuality. That's a whole nother topic, but they didn't want her with Diddy because he was the rapper, and they didn't want Ben with her because she was the Puerto Rican. Okay. So she marries Puerto Rican. Those don't work out. Now these two were really in love. They're back together again because they were listening to too much of the noise.
Right.
We're going to see how this pans out. But honestly, I really think it all goes back to Diddy was sitting up there making songs about her and everything. J-Lo missed some Jennifer. But we going to see.
And Leo. They both Leo.
Huh?
I said Ben and Jennifer are both Leo. So it take a Leo to take down another Leo. But whatever.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. I mean, I think people felt like she was running him, but some men, you can still be an alpha and have a woman who is really captain of your heart. And I think that J-Lo needs a man that she can be captain of his heart, where he's gonna let her dominate just a little bit. But at the end of the day, he's running things. Diddy, I think. I don't know. There, like you said, to your point, there could be a little power struggle there, and that's why that would not work, and that's why they have not gotten together, even though he's been free at times when they could have gotten together. But they are all old enough now, and they all have enough money that they don't care anymore. So they're gonna do. Diddy is, that's a whole other conversation too. But yeah, I see. To your point, I see Ben, and now thinking of it that way, yeah, Ben and Jennifer could stand together. We don't know. But guys, we see this on the YouTube streets all the time. There's a lot of women out here who are trying to run everything. And you can't. Part of being a queen is to allow your subjects, your court, to do their thing, and you sit and watch and you just let shit happen. Trying to run everything, that's not being a queen. That's the opposite.
Being a peasant. No.
Yeah, it's you're working. You are working. You're a worker. You end up you may be in the position of a queen, but you're operating as a pawn. Keesha has a whole entire platform. She knew she didn't need to have that conversation. If you can't have the conversation on your own platform, you don't need to have it. The fact that she went over to Dee's and sat there for 3 hours on Dee's live, awesome for Dee, good views for her. Nice paycheck on that video. But at the end of the day, Keesha, you should have been on there for 20, 30 minutes tops and pieced out, because at the end of the day, you took your crown off your head, not because you spoke to your audience. That's a beautiful thing. And that's what you need to do, is connect with your audience on your platform. But you sat there, you let people push your buttons, you answered questions that you've answered before. Telling people that you have answered their question before when you are open to taking questions on someone else's platform is part of signing up for taking questions on someone else's platform. You may be talking to people that are not your core audience. You are talking to people who called, who came because, oh, here's Keesha. Well, no, I didn't even know that you answered that before. I don't know that you even talked about that before. I didn't know that you talked about that 150 times. I didn't even know Dee's channel existed. You know what I mean? People could have many different reasons. They just fell onto, they may not have even know. There's a segment of Keesha's audience that does not even know all the fuck shit that happened for the past 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And to think that everybody knows is a missed opportunity. Right. And for Keesha to do things, if you're out here doing things that you cannot do on your own platform, you should not be doing them. If you care about your brand and that is tied in with the reason, you shouldn't be doing it. And you shouldn't have been on there. The fact that you were on there, okay, fine, but you were on there too long. And if I were a friend, I would put that on private. I would put that on in shit, I never can think of it. Unlisted. I would make it members only. I would not have that out there just for general consumption, because Keesha, it was not a good look into hour 2, and you were getting highly annoyed. You really exposed yourself. It was a great conversation, and I certainly appreciated it. But if we're talking brand, if we're talking you deleting videos, like when you gave Ashley the apology and all that stuff, and you're sitting there crying and upset, and you took that down because you have a whole brand, the fact that it's hiding over at Dee's channel doesn't make it not exist. It's out here, and it's not a good look. You guys do what you want to do. Dr. Amir, you got any closing remarks on any of these mommies? What do you want any of these mommies in the chat to know about these mommies and just wife life, mom life? What do you want everyone to know on this Friday? What can you send out into the universe positive so that these mommies can know there's a better way out here?
I think these mommies need to go to my website and get this life coach and healing. Okay. I really believe that they need that help, especially Jasmine and Liv. Chrissy trying to get it together, you know what I mean? So I'm not mad at her, but I think that I think she shouldn't have addressed that girl. She shouldn't address that girl for the second time. Think
remember, this is a financial endeavor. So just remember also, there was a check involved because that video was monetized. So yes, she shouldn't have, but this is also for Chrissy a business. So she monetized, because she does not give a fuck. She monetized that situation, and she took her crown off to address something that her man told her not to address a year ago. But yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going.
So I think that Live life need to lead, go to the court. She need child support or whatever. They need to work out an amount on child support. Stop posting that on social media. It's just old at this point. Her mother did a current with the boots. Okay, her mother did a current by trying to say that the boy had kidnapped the kids and all that other kind of stuff. That is so silly. And you know what they do to black men out here with the powers that be, right? Mm-hmm. So that was disrespectful, and that was very dangerous for them to do that. And that's just, I have no respect after that. Liv can't tell me nothing after that. I've unsubscribed from her. I don't look at her. First of all, I don't like crack tales. I don't look at crack tales or whatever it is she do. And she just lied. I mean, I just can't, just don't even stop. They volunteer lie. So maybe they should stop lying. At this point, Jasmine couldn't even take her to children she had before. This is not what I say. This is not what I say. She said this. She's complained about how it's hard and she doesn't have help and how nobody helps her. And I see that. That is true. Nobody's really helping her watch those children. She does need a break. Now, let's just be honest. However,
yeah, but a lot of us mommies don't get that. Right. A lot of us don't get that. You have to pay for that. There's a price. If you don't have family that shows up to be there and to babysit or offer sleepovers and things like that, it's just not an option for a lot of us. I mean, my husband and I have had our daughter the majority period of her life, and rightfully so, because she's our daughter. I probably can say maybe 20, 25, less than 50 times in her lifetime have Farrah spent the night out.
My son is never
10, but we love to have everyone up under this roof. I'm not quick to just send my daughter out to go sleep at anybody's house.
Me neither. Not my son. And guess what? I haven't had a break either, but I'm not complaining either. I'm happy.
I don't need a break. Moms don't get sick days. Moms don't get break now.
I'm
still momming.
That's my break. When he go to sleep, I'm like, oh
yes. That's why I was up all last night cleaning my office. Yeah.
So that's my thing. Or if my husband's here when he's off of work, because my husband work, I'm a stay-at-home entrepreneur mom. How about that?
Yes, girl. Yes, me too.
So pretty much I'm like, baby, I'm ready to step out. I'm ready to go to I got my own healing center. I'm like, I'm ready to go to the healing center. That's where I get my break. I'll go there and just sit there, put my music on and enjoy myself. You know what I mean?
When
But
you get to do you and do what interests you and do what
exactly.
fuels your soul and makes you
I'm
another thing, another component of what makes you the individual. Yes, I agree.
But they really need to stop, putting so much. Jasmine, they put all this mess out here on social media. Then when somebody says something to them about it's a problem. I mean, come on now. And they're like, "Oh, your mommy shaming me." How about y'all shaming me by putting this junk out here on the YouTube streets? How about that shaming
Right.
us for
It's
having
coonery.
It is definitely
They're cooning,
coonery, and stupidity. Okay.
right? Buffoonery.
Yes.
They're cooning and they're acting like buffoons because
Yes.
it's entertainment. You guys want to be out here and act like a sideshow and be a buffoon. And what you're doing to us melanated folk is that you are doing things that are behind the scenes, the
Mm-hmm.
crazy auntie, your slutty
Mm-hmm.
sister, your
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You are doing all of the things that are shaming your, you're not being acting as a credit to your race. If you are cooning, you are doing the opposite. You are discrediting. You are feeding into the stereotypes. Yes, cooning is definitely a niche here on YouTube. You guys get mad at me if you want to. I don't care. I won't be back till Monday. But at the end of the day, yes, cooning is a thing out here on the YouTube streets when you have people who are not giving our black excellence. They are giving the opposite. I don't know what you call that, Amira. The opposite of black excellence would be what?
Would be
Shit show?
ghetto, stupid, and nasty ghetto.
Hood.
And,
Oh, wait, gutter. You
gutter snipers. What they
yes, you
call,
getting
a
gutter
bird
in this
say?
motherfucker, okay?
Right, gutter snipers in this.
Yes, cooning is getting gutter. If you don't understand what I'm saying about cooning, look it up.
Yeah, I was just about
But
to say
it's getting gutter. It's
it's
not even hood.
embarrassing.
It's
It
worse
really
than
is
hood.
embarrassing because
Yes.
other races look at us and be like, "Oh my God, do they really act like that?" And then when
I'm
you
like,
go around
yes.
other races,
Look at
I'm
her
like, "We not
butt.
like that." That ain't us. That's just that bone. That's that retarded. I mean, silly girl. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes, cooning. Let me give you guys the Urban Dictionary is an exclamation used by white people who take racism onto the next level to behave as a very arrogant. I don't like that in definition. I don't think that's accurate. I don't know who writes the definitions on Urban Dictionary, but that was not a good one.
Give a better
Cooning. Cooning.
Cooning, acting like you are beneath your race, clowning and for the other races and making us look bad. That's what cooning is.
Girl, yes. So a verb
Shameful
derived from the word
behavior.
coon. Coon was and is a person of African descent whose sole purpose was or is to entertain white people. So you're showing out to make us look bad. Okay. It's a verb derived from a word. A coon is a person of African descent whose sole purpose is to entertain white people. These coons started out as wearing blackface, characterized by having big eyes and painting on red lips on their face. So when we saw people in blackface, they were cooning. But there are black people who started actually cooning the actual people who were cooning. So modern day coons are blacks who play stereotypical roles as entertainers to promote ignorance. Cooning is someone who acts like a coon.
And they'd be like, "Oh, yes, sir, boss. Oh, yeah."
Well,
Oh,
old times, but now it's a bonnet. It's acting stank and stale. It's Olivia waking up at 4:00, acting like a welfare mom. But at the end of the day, you are actually an entrepreneur on YouTube who makes a 5-figure check monthly, who, because it's a royalty check, can't count it as true income. So it does not affect your state benefits. So you can still get things like Medicare and Medicaid, and you can still get your Social Security checks because it's a royalty check. And you can get state benefits, but you are making more than the people who are watching you, who are getting on buses and Ubers and driving their cars into a job. And you are acting like the worst, but you are actually making more than, okay? You are playing a role, but really and truly, it's your real life. You're just big upping what you're actually doing. But when you tell people it's entertainment, you're kind of trying to side eye gaslight that, bitch, you really do live like that, but you really, if you weren't so damn lazy, you wouldn't be. But whatever. Dr. Amir, I got to run. We are going on 2.5 hours.
See you
As
later.
always, it's
Thank
like
you.
such a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Peace out.
Okay. Have a great weekend, Dr. Amira. Guys, there's some hoes in this house. If you see them, point them out. Okay, guys, I gotta go. You guys are awesome. I'm going to put this in the chat. And I don't know, any of you guys out here that have a problem with me because I'm expressing myself about things that I know and things that are important to me and things that I think should be important to you as a grown woman, as a woman who may or may not know, somebody who is awakening to your life's purpose, awakening to your role out here in the world, and the butterfly effect, no pun intended on that, but the effect that your existence has out here in this world. If you are offended by that, take a look in the mirror and ask yourself why. What bothered you the most? And whatever bothered you the most is what maybe you need to be working on, okay? If it bothers you because someone's successful, stop being so fucking lazy and get up off your shit and start doing what you're supposed to be doing out here in this world. If it bothers you because I love talking about my husband and because I love marriage and I love glorifying the sanctity of my marriage and my walk as a mother and what I'm doing here on YouTube, if it bothers you, then go get you some. Okay. Stop worrying about mine and get yours. Okay. And if I'm using you as content, you got control over that. Put something better out and maybe I'll talk about that. Okay. Guys, you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise, and I will be back. I'm sure. I don't know that I'm going to be live again this weekend. If something pops off, I'm sure I will. But otherwise, I'm sure I'll be dropping some videos and I will see you guys back here on Monday on regular schedule. But your girl had to get a little extra rest today because I was tired. Okay. I'm going to drop that definition and the link. It's defined dictionary meaning. I'm not sure if this is a crowdsourced definition, but I liked it. And I think that it's very accurate. Olivia out here is cooning. Jasmine is out here cooning. Chrissy, a little, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on the fence on that one. That's a might be. She might be. Okay. Shouts out to Gucci Man. I love Gucci Man. Okay. Or is that bitch, I might be. Was that Gucci or is that I digress. I like this definition though. Okay. Anisha, you have a great day also. And don't forget to hit me up in Instagram if there's anything that thank you, Erica. Yes. Guys, I love music. I love some good lyrics because they're so applicable to today, right? Thank you, C Filewood. Thank you. Guys, if sometimes I do miss a comment. I try to hit on your comments when we're freestyling up in here. Life of Destiny, how are you, boo-boo? How's it going? How's the baby? Baby's getting ready to be almost a year now, right? Liv isn't making more than 50K a year on YouTube. It's okay, maybe not, but that's more than she would have been making it at Sprouts. And for all of us boss ass bitches who $50,000, we've been making that for a minute and then some. she was working at Sprouts, girl. She was making $8, $9, probably $10 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So 50,000 for her, and you get medical, and you get food stamps, and you got your man caking you off. She's, you know what I'm saying? That's not like, oh, she's rich, but okay. It's some money, especially if you didn't have any and you're, you know what I mean? For me, I'm sorry, 50K is not going to do. However, like I said, she's making the most money she's ever made, right? Sal de mi casa boricua, okay? Okay? Okay, okay. You guys are so freaking awesome. I love you guys so much. I hope to all of the keys out there, if I touched on a nerve, y'all, it's okay. It's okay. All right? We're going to be all right.
Get out of my Caucasian house. 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 Get out. Get out of my house. Get out of my Caucasian.
All right, let's go ahead and get on with our weekends. Let's have a good time. I will read through this chat, see what I missed. If you are on the outside looking in, if there's a problem and you are and you were not able to chat for some reason, if you got a question about it, let me know. If you've been with the foolishness and fuckery, you probably know what the deal is. Otherwise, guys, have a awesome weekend, and I will see you out here on these YouTube streets. Okay, take care. Welcome back to Love, Lies, and Lace Fronts, where we do reactions, reviews, and commentary on the YouTube channels you love to watch. Guys, are you subscribed to this channel? If you're not, you need to be. Hit your notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a video, when I go live, and drop another video for you. Also, follow me on Instagram. That way you can keep up with what I'm doing, okay? If you enjoy channels like this and commentary, consider becoming a member. Otherwise, guys, BougieGang Gang, it's an open thing. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so you can participate in the chats. And I will see you next time I hit that live button. Okay? Take care. Bye. Hey guys, how are you?
You could be doing opposed to being on my page, bitch, cause I ain't got nothing for you nothing ass bitches.